Hi, I'm Steve Root. This is Root's Kitchens, Bedrooms, Bathrooms, and today's video is on the DBM heating element that comes from Zehnder. This is the dual energy electric element, sometimes called a programmable summer heating element. Summer arrives, we'd like warm towels on our radiator still, so the first thing we do is turn off the supply valve that supplies this radiator from the rest of our central heating system. That's really important. It's also important to leave the return valve of the radiator open. A lot of these can't be closed, but make sure you don't turn off both sides of the radiator. As this element heats the water in the radiator, if both sides are closed, the pressure can build up and you can create leaks for yourself or other damage. And if both are left open, the hot water can start flowing out of this radiator around the rest of the house, which sort of spoils the point, but also wears out the element. So once you've done that, the next thing you do is make sure the element itself is turned on. The fuse spur is probably not in the bathroom, it's probably in an airing cupboard or somewhere else. But you'll see a little light just underneath the dial here when it's turned on. And once you've done those two things, you're set to go. Choose the settings you like. Now, what are the setting options? You choose the settings by this rotary dial. The first setting at the bottom here is the off setting, which means the element isn't going to do anything. The second setting, which is an open thermometer, is a standby setting. This is an anti-frost setting, so it will come on at 5 or 10 degrees and just stop any really cold water in the system and in the room. The third setting is the half-full thermometer. Now, the half-full thermometer means this element will run at 40 degrees constantly. So your radiator should get to 40 degrees, but it will run 24 hours a day at 40 degrees. And the final setting is the full thermometer, which is 70 degrees. 70 degrees is very hot to touch, and that would run continuously 24 hours a day at 70 degrees. What about if you just want the heating element to come on occasionally? This is where the program becomes useful. The button below is a 2-hour boost button. So you press that once and the radiator goes to 70 degrees for 2 hours and then goes back to whatever the previous setting was that's been left on the rotary dial. Now, obviously, if you've got it on the maximum temperature and you press that button, it's already at 70 degrees and it's going to keep staying at 70 degrees, which is what confuses a lot of people about these controls. They're not very intuitive. On the other hand, if you've got it on the standby mode and then you press the 2-hour button, 70 degrees for 2 hours, and then back to standby, or essentially off or anti-frost for the rest of the day. Or, well, for the rest of time, because you've only pressed it once. If you want this to come on every day, so let's say we get up at 8 o'clock and we want the towels on, towels nice and warm for 8 o'clock. As soon as you get up, go in and press this button for 10 seconds or so. Once you've done that, the radiator will come on to 70 degrees for an hour and a half on the first day, but the next day it essentially starts half an hour earlier and runs for 2 hours. So at 7:30 it's going to come on for 2 hours at 70 degrees every day from here on. So press that for 10 seconds and hold to turn that function on. If you want to change that function, the easiest way to reset things is just to turn it off at the wall for a few minutes, turn it back on, and then carry on as without any settings on it. And finally, there's an LED status light built into the element. If there's no light at all, it means it's switched off at the wall. A green light means that it's working but not heating, and a red light means that it's working and heating at the same time. If the red light flashes, it's not a fault. It means that it's heating on one of the timer programs, either the boost function or the 24-hour repeating timer. And finally, if it's flashing red and green, an intermittent red, then green, then red, then green, that means that it's gone into safe mode and it's detected a fault. Fixing that is often quite easy. The first thing to do is to check that you have closed the valve from the rest of the heating system, and then check that there's actually water in the radiator. If you've had a small leak and the water's dribbled out of the radiator, the element will switch off to protect itself when there's no water present. Once you've done that, go to the fuse spur and remove the fuse from the plug. I don't know why that should make a difference, but apparently in the instructions, removing the fuse is different to just turning off the double pole switch. So do that, and it says give it 20 minutes, put it back in, and hopefully that's cleared the fault. If it doesn't, I've attached to this video a full set of instructions from Zehnder on how to do a full reset of this unit. Hopefully you won't have to do that. All the ones I've seen so far, it has simply been a case of switch them off for a few minutes and switch them back on again, and I haven't even removed the fuses. And that's been enough to fix it. I hope you found this useful. If you know this thermostat under a different name or a different model number, please type it in the comments because it helps other people find the instructions as well. And if you like the video, please press like, that helps us a lot. My name's Steve Root, this is Root's Kitchens, Bedrooms, Bathrooms. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. If you found it useful, please click like. If you're looking for a kitchen, bedroom and bathroom done well and you live local to our showroom in Faversham, please come and visit our shop. But any other questions, leave comments and I'll do my best to answer them all.